Yo, what's going on YouTube? It is your boy Ears. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your day, start to your day, whatever time it may be. And we're going over the new 10 best class setups after the new Season 3 update in Modern Warfare. Let me know down in the comment section right now, what is your favorite gun to use currently in the game? I've honestly messed with some of my class setups and I found some weapons with some specific class setups that I find that work the absolute best after this new update. Now remember, if you guys want to see more best class setups, best settings, tips and tricks, or any future gameplay breakdowns where I analyze my own gameplay, your gameplay, and help you guys get more tactical nukes or increase your KD ratios, make sure you guys absolutely smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and also turn on those post notifications so you guys notified when I upload a new video. With all being said, let's get right into the 10 best class setups after the new Season 3 update in Modern Warfare. So number one is going to be my high damage AK-47 class setup. Now I have a very unique AK-47 class setup that I have been running recently that absolutely melts. So with the AK-47, I like to run it with the MUZZLE suppressor, the 23-inch Romanian barrel, which allows me to have increased damage range, increased bullet velocity, as well as increased recoil control. This is the absolute best barrel for the AK-47 because it makes this weapon have virtually no recoil, and when you put a high damage weapon with no recoil, you're going to be doing work. Now for the next attachment, I run the 5.45 by 39 millimeter 30 round magazine. Now I do not run the standard 7.62 rounds with this weapon. The reason being is this round allows you to have increased fire rate and also increased recoil control. Guys, this is the best ammunition type for the AK-47. You'll be able to kill people incredibly fast and most importantly maintain that accuracy over ranges, because that's where the AK-47 lacks. And with the Romanian barrel coupled with this ammunition type, you're going to be able to laser, and I literally mean laser, people across the map with ease. Now, next attachment I'm running is the stippled grip tape. Now, the stippled grip tape allows you to have increased aim down sight speed as well as increased sprint to fire speed. A very important attachment when you guys are running a max barrel, because when we want to offset that weight increase that barrel does add to your weapon. And then finally, I'm running the skeleton stock, which allows you to also have walking movement speed increase and additional aim down sight movement speed increase. Again, we want to offset that weight increase that max barrel is going to give us as much as we can. And with these attachments on the AK-47, you'll find yourself being able to run and gun, and most importantly, take out enemies over ranges and pretty much make this a universal assault rifle. Now my next class setup I like to run is going to be the M4A1. Now this is a standard issue M4A1 class setup if you guys need to absolutely destroy a lobby. It's good at close range, medium range, and long range, and I'm explaining exactly what attachments I'm running on this weapon. Now for the M4, I like to run it with the MUZZLE suppressor, the stock M16 grenadier barrel, which allows you to have increased damage range, increased bullet velocity, as well as increased recoil control. Very important on the M4A1 because we want to make sure this weapon has little to no recoil as possible. I'm also running the commando foregrip because I want to stabilize my shots over ranges and also add aiming stability so I can iron out that curve and make it so this weapon has no recoil at all. I'm running the 60 round magazine on the M4 because it does have a high fire rate, and we're also going to be running an attachment that's going to offset the weight increase. So having a 60 round M4 that has no recoil, that kills incredibly fast, it's super forgiving, and I think a lot of you guys will definitely enjoy this setup. You'll be able to take out 4, 5, 6 enemies with one magazine and still have some to spare. And then finally, I like to run the no stock attachment on this weapon because it also is going to increase that movement speed and increase that aim down sight speed, offsetting that weight increase that the max barrel and the 60 round magazine does add to this weapon, which is very, very important. Now we're going to be looking at my first easy tactical nuke class setup, which is going to be the Kilo 141. This is a setup that if you guys are trying to get your first tactical nuke or at least raise your KD, this is what you guys need to go to and check out right now. Now for the Kilo 141, I like to run it with the Singard Arms Whisperer barrel. Now this is going to allow you to have increased sound suppression as well as increased bullet velocity. Guys, this barrel on the Kilo 141 makes it feel like this weapon kills 10 times faster because of that increased bullet velocity, and you're also going to be able to have increased sound suppression, so you can flank the enemy spawn and get behind them without them really noticing what's going on. Now I'm running the Merc foregrip. Now the reason I like to run the Merc foregrip on the Kilo 141 is because since I'm not running a max barrel on this weapon, I want to have increased recoil control but also increased hip fire accuracy. This is a mobile AR. I like to run and gun with the Kilo 141. If I decide to use a rifle on a small to medium sized map, it's going to be the Kilo 141, and with the Merc foregrip, because you get that increased hip fire accuracy, you're going to be able to pull off some pretty ridiculous hip fire kills at ranges that honestly really should not be possible. Now I'm also running the 60 round magazine on the Kilo as well. Now I recently took off the 100 round drum. Now I want to be as mobile as possible, and you cannot do that with the 100 round drum on the Kilo. The 60 round magazine with this weapon is more than enough, and like I said, with the M4A1 setup, you'll be able to take out 4, 5, 6, 7 enemies and still have ammunition to spare. I'm also running the fully loaded perk on this weapon because I want to have maximum starting ammo when I spawn in. Now I like to run dead silence with this class setup, and I want to use dead silence as much as possible because this is a run and gun assault rifle. I don't want the enemies to hear my footsteps and take me out because they can hear me coming. That's probably the most annoying way to die in this game, and because I have fully loaded on, I'm not going to be able to, or not really be forced to throw down ammo boxes nearly as much, and that's going to be super important when running and gunning. Now for the stock, I like to run the no stock attachment on this weapon because it's going to increase that movement speed and also increase that aim down sight speed, making this weapon a lot more universal, a lot more usable at close ranges. Now for my second easy nuke class setup, it's going to be the GRAU 5.56. Now I think a lot of us have this weapon unlocked now. This was a season 2 weapon, and guys, it's amazing with this setup. It has no recoil and it melts incredibly fast. Now with the GRAU 5.56, I like to run it with a mild suppressor, the Tempest 26.4 inch Archangel barrel, which is going to allow us to have increased damage range, increased bullet velocity, as well as increased recoil control. Going to make it so this weapon can take enemies out with no recoil across the entire map, and you're gonna be getting that upgraded iron sight. I'm gonna show you guys right now. The Archangel barrel does give us a pinpoint kind of spoke iron sight, a one spoke iron sight, incredibly clean and super easy to use at longer ranges, making this weapon a lot easier to use. I'm also running the Commando foregrip again because I want to stabilize those shots over ranges and make it so this weapon has literally no recoil. I'm running the 60 round magazine because just like my M4 and the Kilo, I want to be able to take out 4, 5, 6 enemies at a single time with one magazine. And then I'm finally running the no stock attachment so I can have increased movement speed and also increased aim down sight speed, and most importantly offset that weight increase that the max barrel and the 60 round magazine is going to be giving with this weapon. Now we're going to be looking at my easy nukes number 3 setup, which is going to be the Ram 7, another fantastic DLC weapon. You guys are probably noticing that I like to run my DLC weapons because, in my opinion, these guns are ridiculously good with the right attachments. And you guys can see here, I have on the Malik suppressor the FSS Ranger barrel, which allows me to have increased damage range, increased bullet velocity, as well as increased recoil control. Again, so I can use this weapon at any range possible and make this an absolute melt machine with little to no recoil. I'm running the Commando foregrip so I can stabilize those shots over ranges. I'm running the 50 round magazine because that's the only biggest magazine you can run, and I want to have enough bullets to take out as many people as possible without reloading. And also this gun has kind of a slow reload speed, but it is to offset because this weapon is absolutely just destroys. And then finally, I'm running the stippled grip tape, which allows me to have increased aim down sight speed and increased sprint to fire speed, making it so I can offset that weight increase that the max barrel does give me as much as possible with this weapon. Unfortunately, there is a no stock attachment, or there isn't a no stock attachment on this gun, but if there was, you best believe I would be running it. Now finally, we're looking at my rushing first class. This is my number 1 rushing class setup in Modern Warfare. If you guys need to get into their spawn, absolutely wreak havoc, you guys are looking for a submachine gun to run, this is the one to use right here. It's gonna be my MP5 class setup. I know you guys love the MP5. I'm running it with a monolithic integral suppressor. Now this is gonna be an exact copy and paste of my Kilo class setup. It works just as good on the MP5. Now this barrel allows you to have increased sound suppression as well as increased bullet velocity, making it feel like this weapon is going to kill a little bit faster, especially at close to medium ranges. I'm running the PERK foregrip, so I have increased recoil control as well as increased hipfire accuracy, because this weapon, as a submachine gun, the PERK foregrip allows you to get some ridiculous hipfire kills at ranges that honestly shouldn't be possible. It's going to leave you guys like, wow, I should not have gotten that kill running, this MP5 off the hip. Now, I'm also running the 45 round magazine. Now, this is going to be really good if you guys want to take out more than one enemy at a single time. Now, I used to run the 10mm rounds, but realistically, I've been noticing that I'm not really feeling that damage reduction as much. And honestly, I like having 45 round magazine because it's going to feel like the weapon is a lot more forgiving. And if I miss a couple shots, or if another enemy comes around the corner, I still have enough ammo to take them out, and I don't get caught reloading nearly as much. I'm also running the fully loaded perk on this weapon because I want to be able to get into their spawn. I want to be able to run and gun. This is a rushing weapon. I want to be able to use dead silence as much as possible. So having fully loaded on, allowing me to not throw down the ammo box as much, is going to be super helpful, because remember guys, you do not want to get taken out running around in their spawn by somebody that's hearing your loud footsteps. And then finally, I have on the F-Tech collapsible stock, allowing me to have increased movement speed as well as increased aim down sight speed, because remember, this is a submachine gun and I want to be able to move around the map as quickly as possible and use an SMG exactly how it should be used. Now we're looking at another rushing class setup. This is going to be on the MP7. Now, I've been sleeping on the MP7. I absolutely love the MP7. I think a lot of you guys will definitely enjoy this class setup. Now, the MP7 is like a mobile assault rifle. It has literally no recoil, and with the right class setup, it melts. Now, with the MP7, I like to run it with the lightweight suppressor. I don't run the MUZZLE suppressor on this gun because I feel that this gun has more than enough range that I don't need to run the MUZZLE suppressor to add a little bit to it. So I kind of compensate with the lightweight. It does reduce a little bit of range, but we're not going to be getting that weight increase that those other suppressors do add. And you guys can be seeing here, I'm running the FSS Recon barrel, which is going to increase that damage range, increase that bullet velocity, as well as increase that recoil control, completely offsetting and negating that lightweight suppressor reduction, but you're still going to be giving that increased recoil control and being able to melt people across the map. Now, I'm also running the 60 round magazine with the MP7 because this gun burns, and I mean burns through ammo. You do not want to get caught with no ammo in your clip. This gun has a relatively slow reload time, so having that 60 round mag is going to be super helpful and super forgiving when running this weapon. I'm running the stippled grip tape because remember, I want to offset that weight increase as much as I can because I am running a max barrel, and that stippled grip tape is going to allow me to do so. And because this is a submachine gun, I want to be able to raise my weapon off the hip as fast as possible. And then finally, I'm running the full loaded perk again because, like I said, with the MP5, this is a submachine gun class setup. I want to be able to run and gun and rush as fast as possible and get into their spawn without actually having to use the ammo box nearly as much, and I want to use my dead silence as much as possible over the ammo box. Now, for a heavy class setup, for those of you who like light machine guns, this M91 class setup is something that I definitely would go ahead and check out. This is kind of a slept on weapon, but it packs a massive punch. Now with the M91, I like to run it with the M91 heavy barrel, which is going to allow you to have increased damage range, increased bullet velocity, as well as increased recoil control. This gun has straight vertical recoil, so you want to go ahead and minimize that as much as possible. And on top of that, I'm running the PERK foregrip because I want to minimize that vertical recoil as well, but still have that ability to get some hip fire kills if I need to, because remember, this is a light machine gun. It does have slower than normal handling. If somebody comes close to me, hip fire with the PERK foregrip, you're more than likely going to be able to get that kill. I'm running the stippled grip tape on this weapon because remember, it is an LMG, so I want to make sure I can ADS as fast as possible, and that's exactly what the stippled grip tape is going to allow me to do for this weapon. And I'm running the GI Mini Reflex because the iron sights, in my personal opinion, on this weapon are not that good, so I want to have a clear sight picture so I can put 100 rounds down effectively and accurately over ranges. And then finally, I'm running the no stock attachment because, like I said, it is an LMG. I want to have increased movement speed as well as increased aim down sight speed to offset not only that weight increase that the max barrel does give, but just the general clunkiness that LMGs do have here in Modern Warfare. Now we're going to be looking at a hybrid class setup. Now this is going to be my RAM, or not my RAM, excuse me, this is going to be my AUG class. Now the AUG is good at every single range. So many people sleep on the AUG, and I don't know why. This is one gun that if you guys have not checked out yet for whatever reason in this game, please give it a try. Now for the AUG, I like to run it with the MUZZLE suppressor, the 6.22mm long barrel. This is the most important attachment on this weapon. It makes it feel like an assault rifle. You're going to have increased damage range, increased bullet velocity, as well as increased recoil control, which is very important when running this weapon because you'll be able to take out AR users at range. Honestly, I feel more confident with this weapon at range than I do with half of the assault rifles in Modern Warfare. I know a lot of you guys will feel the same if you guys check out this class setup. I run the 32 round magazine. I don't really care to run the 5.56 on this weapon. 32 round magazine is more than enough for me, and I feel like the 9mm is still going to be good enough. And on top of that, you'll be able to pick up MP5 ammo because it is a 9mm, so there'll be some crossover when going ahead and looking for ammo and scavenging weapons on the map, which is always a very good thing. I'm running the stippled grip tape because remember, this is a submachine gun, and I want to have a weapon that has increased aim down sight speed and also increased sprint to fire speed, allowing me to get my weapon off the hip a lot quicker because, like I said, this is a submachine gun. I want to be able to maneuver the map a lot faster and a lot easier, and obviously raise my gun because it is a submachine gun. And then finally, I'm running the fully loaded perk, which is going to allow me to have more starting ammo off the rip, so I do not have to throw down my ammo box nearly as much, and I can go ahead and use dead silence and pop it whenever I need to. Very important to use when running a submachine gun. And then finally, we're going to be looking at a for fun class setup. If you guys are looking for a setup that nobody uses in Modern Warfare, and you guys absolutely just want to shred lobbies and just melt people consistently, the FAMAS is going to be your weapon of choice. Now the FAMAS is absolutely fantastic. I've been getting melted one burst by this gun literally so many times, it's not even funny. Now with the FAMAS, I just went it with the MUZZLE suppressor, the FR 24.4 and sniper barrel, which allows me to have increased damage range, increased bullet velocity, as well as increased recoil control. And with the sniper barrel on this weapon, it's going to allow you to go ahead and get one bursts at any range across the map, especially if you guys place a chest high up shot. Absolutely devastating. Now I also run the commando foregrip because this weapon, you're going to be able to stabilize the shot over ranges and most accurately place the burst to get a one-shot kill as most consistently as possible. I'm running the stippled grip tape, which is allow you to have increased aim down sight speed as well as increased sprint to fire speed, something that is very important when running this weapon because it is a burst weapon, so getting on target as fast as possible is going to be super important when running a max barrel that does offset the weight. And then finally, we're running the FSS tac wrap stock, which again is going to increase that aim down sight speed, allowing us to ready our weapon up a little bit faster and get those bursts accurately on target as quickly as possible to get those one burst kills more consistently. These are going to be my 10 best class setups after the new Season 3 update in Modern Warfare. If there's 3 class setups you guys should definitely go ahead and check out in this season, it's going to be my AUG class setup because this is super underrated and not that many people use. It's going to be my MP5 rushing class setup, which is fantastic if you guys are running gun players. And then finally, if you guys want to absolutely get your first tactical nuke, it's going to be my Kilo 141 class setup. Hope you guys do enjoy the video. Remember, if you guys want to see more best class setups, best settings, tips and tricks, or any gameplay walkthroughs and breakdowns I do during the season, make sure you guys absolutely smash the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel, and also turn on those post notifications. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.